Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum. Dun, 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 dun. Whoa, this movie was freaking awesome, guys. I loved this movie and everything that it had to offer me. Most of it. I'm gonna say that. Most of the movie is just the most phenomenal thing ever. I still think the first movie is untouched though, because that ending, that end fight in the first movie is just the best last 30 minutes that I love to death. But there is a battle in this movie. I'm not gonna spoil. It is just as awesome as that movie. Hey guys, welcome. It's me, John Avenger, once again. Oh my freaking god! I just saw Endgame. It was everything I could have imagined. Great freaking send off for the characters. Lots of freaking humor. A raucous crowd. When you hear the reactions from this crowd, you guys are gonna go freaking. You're gonna see, exactly the atmosphere that was in the freaking theater tonight. I loved every second of this movie. Even there's, I'm gonna warn you. There's three things I'm gonna say that are not a spoiler. There is no post credit scene at the end, so you don't have to wait till the end. Just see the cast list. All the actors. When that's over, you can go home. You don't need to stay at the end. There's nothing at the end except for the Marvel logo. That's it. They don't set up the X-Men or Fantastic Four because that hasn't been recasted yet. And Spidey Far From Home, yeah, that will have a post-credit scene. I can feel that. But there's no post-credit scene. That's one. Two, the first hour of this movie is exactly what I said. It's a lot of drama. It's a lot of serious acting. The actors are phenomenal in the freaking roles. It's a lot of talking, but it's not going to kill you. Stay with this movie. This movie's 3 hours and 2 minutes. I didn't feel it at all. This is the Return of the King of the franchise. This is the best fourth movie I've ever seen. If you don't count A New Hope, this is the best fourth movie I've ever seen because that was the first Star Wars movie ever made. But this is the best fourth movie ever, easily, like without any question. Any movie with the number four can't even touch this. And I love a lot of movies that are a fourth in the installment. The fourth Nightmare on Elm Street's really good. I really like Ghost Protocol and Mission Impossible. If you count Episode 4, I guess that kind of counts, but it's not the fourth movie unless you count the prequels. Um, the fourth Harry Potter movie, I think, is the best sequel, but it's not. It still has its flaws. But this is on another freaking level. I'm gonna title this Avengers Endgame equals history has been freaking made. Suck it, episode 9. When I saw the trailer, well, I didn't see the trailer. I kept my eyes closed and I heard the trailer. Nobody was clapping. Nobody reacted. Nobody cheered. Nobody gave a shit. Do you know why people gave a shit about this movie? Because it was freaking phenomenal. The Russos know their shit. They hire writers that freaking get the job done. They hire actors that they bring back a lot of actors that we loved from the other films, and some that just I didn't care for, like Tilda Swinton. They bring her back. She's in 2 scenes. Not gonna say any spoilers. The girl that plays older Cassie, that's not a spoiler either because if you there were some fan theories that she plays the older Cassie. She is, but she's not in the film that much. And no, she doesn't fight at the end. That's not a spoiler either. She's in 2 scenes. The girl from 13 Reasons Why, she's underused. I thought that was like kind of a missed opportunity. Maybe she'll come back. I don't know in Ant-Man 3, but we'll see. But the people that did come back, oh my freaking god, they freaking deliver. And I'm not going to spoil who comes back. You know the Avengers that disappeared in the last film. If you saw Infinity War, that's not a spoiler. You know who disappeared. Black Panther, Spider-Man, uh, the Wasp, freaking in Infinity War or Ant-Man and the Wasp. Uh, what was it? Shuri, I think, and Scarlet Witch. Yeah, they mostly come back. I just love this movie. The storytelling was beyond anything I've seen, man. This blows Civil War out of the water because Josh Brolin, while this is not his film, it's mostly the Avengers film. It is their movie, guys. Captain Marvel doesn't steal the movie from them, but she is used enough for me to say she has at least a couple of badass moments in the film. And I was wrong, but I was close. She does beat Thanos' ass, but doesn't beat him at the end. It's somebody else, but I'm not going to say who. My freaking god, man. There's a lot of emotion in this movie. There were scenes that almost made me cry. I felt something. There was a lot of emotional moments with the actors. Chris Hemsworth made me laugh my ass off. The scenes with him, you're gonna love it. I'm not gonna say a thing. And he doesn't look like this the whole movie, by the way. The short hair, no, it's brief. The other actors, so Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon, freaking great. He owns that role. Robert Downey Jr. This is one of the best performances I've ever seen from him. This man put everything into this movie, and when he says the last 8 minutes are fantastic, you are not freaking wrong. RDJ, you are Iron Man, dude. You are Iron Man. Everything you gave us in the first movie to this movie, you gave us everything. And I could never thank you enough, man. If I met you, I would just, oh man, I don't know. I'd probably fall at your feet because I'm like, I'd be speechless, man. This is a man that battled drug addiction and freaking alcoholism and had a ton of problems and made the best movie comeback of all freaking time. Chris Evans, fantastic. He has a lot of screen time, a lot of emotion. He's mostly serious. He doesn't say a lot of jokes. There's a few jokes he says in the movie, but his when he fights Thanos at the end, oh my god, the scenes with him are freaking phenomenal. I'm not saying anything though. I want to, but I don't want to spoil it. See this movie, guys. This is the greatest film of 2019. Nothing's gonna top it. Tevye's gonna say Shazam. I love Shazam. It was funny, but I had some problems with it, and it was a little long. This does feel long. If you're not patient in the theater, this is going to be a long trip for you because the final battle is at the very end. Just like I said the first hour is going to be the drama. The second hour is them getting together to try to find the stones. That's to undo what happened in the last film. It's not a spoiler. You guys knew that, and you saw the trailers. And the end battle, freaking phenomenal. Everybody was cheering like a freaking fiend. It was like a rave at a concert. It was freaking phenomenal. I wish I could give you a taste of it, but I'll do that in May because I don't want to spoil anything or get a copyright strike. But man, I'm so freaking overwhelmed. I waited 11 years for this, and this was the biggest payoff in cinematic history. Why can't we have that for Star Wars? We can't because nobody reacted to the trailer. They're like, we saw the trailer on YouTube. We don't give a shit because it's going to be all Ray all the time. No freaking payoff. We're never getting Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill together again to have one final hurrah. This movie gave us a one final hurrah for this cast. For most of them. Some of them will be back. We're definitely going to see her again and possibly her again when they do the Black Widow movie because Scarlett Joe, I love you. I will always love you. Everything that you did in this movie and what you did in Iron Man 2. You started with that and you made your way here and you were the perfect choice for Black Widow. This is how you do a freaking end battle. This is how you make a two-parter that adds more to it. This isn't like Twilight where they had to split it into two movies and it just needed to be one at the end. This was way better, of course, because this is better written. So much happens in this movie. The action is mind-blowing. Every single action scene that's here. It's not as much as Infinity War, but you will not be disappointed at the end. Oh my god, you will not. It is the biggest battle since the Return of the King. Parker, if you see this video, I'm going to share this with you on Facebook and on your wherever. And when you see that battle and when you finally see this movie, it's going to remind you of Return of the King. The epic battles with the freaking elephants and with the freaking the orcs and them battling the ghosts and all. That's badass. This is just like that. And the CG looks fantastic. If this movie does not win Best Visuals, the Academy, you could go screw yourselves because there's no way that this is the best visual effects I've seen this year. And I saw Captain Marvel, Shazam, and Aquaman had pretty good ones too from last year, but that didn't win anything. And I'm like, yeah, these effects, just the way they do it, it's freaking mind blowing, man. It's a lot of CG, but that's to be expected. All these movies have a lot of CGI, even the first Iron Man. And I just love the characters, guys. Everything that they do, the Hulk, Thor, they bring back Jeremy Renner. He has some badass moments in the movie. Freaking they bring back War Machine. They bring back Falcon, and he comes and he has a big role shoes to fill at the end. But I'm not going to say anything. Uh, they bring back Bucky. He's not in it that much, but when he's in it, it's good. They bring back Black Panther. His freaking return was badass. People were clapping like crazy. I was screaming so much, my throat was starting to get dry because every 5 seconds, somebody something with badass would happen. I'd be like, "Yes, yeah, hell yeah!" I was just losing it. I danced in the theater, guys. When I'm not going to say what happened, but there was a scene that made me dance in the theater, and I was dancing in front of people. I didn't care. All my inhibitions were right out the window as soon as I entered that theater. That was freaking cinematic paradise, man. Every moment of this movie was just absolutely amazing. Every single visual, the storytelling, the freaking characters, the humor, which was greatly needed in this movie. Because if you didn't have humor in this movie, it would have been a 3 hour Titanic of freaking like just people crying in the theater and not stopping. But it was a proper send off, man. And like I said, I'm glad there was no post credit scene because I waited all that time and I'm like, it was a very long movie, guys. And a post credit scene would have either been forced or wouldn't have lived up to the post credit scene from the first one, or from Infinity War, for Avengers 2, or uh, what was another one? Civil War, I guess. Yeah. In 3 months, we're getting Spider Man Homecoming. I mean, the sequel to that, Far From Home. They set it up really nicely, but no post credit scene. It was great to see Tom Holland back. It was great to see Benedict Cumberbatch back. It was great to see Benedict Wong back. It was great to see the freaking Evangeline Lilly. I freaking love her. My Ladybug has some moments at the end. It's great to see her people cheered because she's a beautiful woman. Captain Marvel, one of my favorites from this year, kicked ass. Her introduction in the movie is freaking awesome. I'm gonna say this: the scene you saw at the end of Captain Marvel, the post credit scene, the first one, that's not in the movie. That's a completely separate scene from this one. Her intro in this is way different. Karen Gilliam, I give it to her. She did. She has a lot more screen time than I thought she was gonna have because she's on the freaking tin can. She's right here. I'm not a big fan of her. I don't like the Jumanji sequel that she's in. I don't watch. I never watched Doctor Who, but I gotta give it to her here. I like Cavill in Fallout. Credit where credit is due. The Russos made her look good, and that's saying a lot. But like I said, guys, this is nothing's gonna top this. You might as well end it right now, guys, because I'm not gonna top. There's nothing this year will come close to being as badass as this. The closest, my next theater experience will be Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and I love that character too. And it's a lot shorter. It's only 2 hours and 12 minutes. It's not 3 hours. But was this worth it? Hell yeah, it was. I loved every second of it. Every time a character showed up, people were clapping. Like a lot. Stanley's cameo, not gonna spoil it. Thank you, Stan. Because of you, this is why we have this cinematic universe. Because of you, we have freaking joy watching these movies. Because of you, these characters are freaking iconic. Because of you, we have a freaking society of non-toxic people that believe in the freaking characters that you wrote and other writers like Jack Kirby and whatever. And you believed in us. You believed in the fans. You did this for the fans. And Kevin Feige, I want to hug you, man. You've done everything you can to make the cinematic universe work. You did what Kathleen Kennedy couldn't. You made a cinematic universe that works, that's connected, that doesn't feel forced, that has no freaking agendas. When the women have their moment at the end, I'm not going to say when, it's awesome. It doesn't feel like, oh God, here comes the SJW battle. No, it's awesome. It's visually stunning. The things that Valkyrie did when she came back, yes, she didn't get snapped, guys. You should have known that because she was in at the end of Thor Ragnarok. She doesn't die, and it's a phenomenal freaking movie, man. Russo, thanks for this, man. You could have never given me a better send off for these characters that I love since the first movie. I've loved these characters since Avengers 1. And even before that with Hulk, the Iron Man films, Thor, freaking Captain America, the first Avenger. This is why I love Marvel. Nobody does it better, guys. Let me see their names, their first names. And of course, it's going to change the MCU because now it could be open for the X Men and the Fantastic Four. We'll never see these guys with the Fantastic Four, or the X Men, though. That is a wasted opportunity, but yeah. But what we got is freaking phenomenal. I will say I like some of the action better in the first in Infinity War because it has more action, but this does not disappoint at the end. That end fight kicks the ass of every X-Men movie. Yeah. Every X-Men movie, including the first two Bryan Singer movies and Days of Future Past. There's a little bit of a lot of movies in there. There's Days of Future Past, obviously, because of the time travel gimmick. You got Back to the Future. You got freaking what else? Like Rick and Morty a little bit. Instead of going, there's not really portals in this, but it reminded me of that. There's some Interstellar because there's but they don't go into space, guys. Remember when they're in the space suits in the trailers? They don't go into space. Just to let you know. Yeah, Anthony and Joe Russo. Thanks, guys. You were comedic directors that did You, Me, and Dupree, and you made two of the best Captain America movies, and you made Avengers great again. With people that were doubting because the second movie, some people were underwhelmed, this delivered in spades, man. It's already made $305 million worldwide, and the film hasn't even been out for a week yet. See this movie, guys. You will not regret it. It's very long. If you have narcolepsy, don't go see it. You're going to fall asleep within the first hour. This black lady did. She was sitting up, like right behind me, a few rows down, and she was sleeping halfway through the movie. I'm like, if you're going to sleep, just go home. Don't go to the theater and see this movie. She only woke up near the end. So far, it's the eighth highest grossing film of 2019. Oh, it's going to be the biggest. No way is Lion King or Aladdin or freaking, and Episode 9. They're not going to touch this movie. The Rise of Skywalker, my bum. This is the rise of the Avengers. This is their final hurrah. This made every movie that we saw before this worth it. Endgame was named the second most anticipated film by IMDb behind Captain Marvel, and I loved Captain Marvel because even though in Endgame she's not in it as much as I wanted her to be, her Captain Marvel movie kicked ass, and having more of her was a blast. It's like Wonder Woman in Justice League that she had less screen time than, or just as much screen time, I would say. And also, Henry Cavill in Justice League. This is way better, guys. This battle at the end will blow your mind. This movie's gonna make a like trillions, man. And when it comes out on Blu-ray, I'm getting it, no doubt about it. And this is what Rotten Tomatoes says. This is no spoiler. Exciting, entertaining, and emotionally impactful. Hell yeah, hell to the yes. Avengers Endgame does whatever it takes to deliver a satisfying finale to Marvel's epic Infinity Saga. Hell yes. Dark Phoenix, you don't stand a chance to be better than this. New Mutants, suck it. Freaking, the freaking what else is coming out? Uh, there's the Joker movie. That's a standalone thing, and then there's Spider-Man: Far From Home, which I'm looking forward to because the first one was so good, and it made me forget about those shitty movies with Andrew Garfield. He wouldn't have worked in this movie. Absolutely not. There's emotional moments that just bring me like if I see them again, I'll probably be in tears. It's a very long movie, but it's for the fans. I felt every single fan moment in this movie. Nerdgasms all over the place. You're gonna hear it soon. Wow, man. 22 movies of badassery, dozens of hours of freaking entertainment, and we deserve this, guys. We went through a rough patch in the 90s and the 2000s with Marvel, and in the 80s as well with Howard the Duck, but this brought it all together, and we succeeded. We beat the freaking SJWs of freaking The Force Awakens. This movie already beat it its opening day. That's a sign of things to come. History has been made, man. I love this freaking movie. This is why I go to the theater, guys. These moments will last forever. I didn't forget anything I saw. Every joke, most of the jokes made me laugh. The writing was very strong. The emotion, you buy it. The actors are freaking phenomenal. For the most part, except for some of the ones that I thought were underused. The action at the end blew my mind. Everything that I'm not going to say spoilers because I'm doing a spoiler filled podcast with my friends. This is a movie to see in theaters. This is cinematic. This is something to not see on Disney Plus when it comes out next year. Don't see this in the theater. You will not regret it. And if you love Marvel, see it because this is for you. This is all for you. I got this for $6. I got that badass poster. Thank you, Avengers, for not freaking letting me down.
Thanks for doing what this bullshit rehash trilogy didn't do for me. At least when people died in Infinity War and when things happen in this movie, it works because I'm freaking invested. That's not hard to ask for, guys. Just give it your all. They did, and they're gonna make billions. And I'm so glad that some channels on YouTube, they're probably ripping their head out of their ass because this made a lot of money, Captain Marvel, and this is gonna make a lot. Because, like I said, Marvel has made DC their bitch ever since 2012, and I like DC movies too. I did. I really liked Aquaman, but I didn't like Amber Heard. I liked Shazam. It made me laugh a lot. That's the higher point in this movie, but it still had its problems. I didn't like the villain. I didn't like the actress that played the older Darla. I just didn't. She was flat for me. Here, these people have some of them have very limited screen time, but they make it count. Groot, freaking Black Panther, but they all deliver some kind of a scene that made the crowds go crazy. It was like a rave. And the twist, there's a lot of twists and turns you don't see coming. Excuse me, and it just freaking got me. And just I want to when I say the spoilers, yeah, there's a lot of them, but I'm not saying a thing. This is pure freaking spectacle at its finest. Thanks, Russos. Thanks, all of you actors, producers, freaking writers, special effects people, production designers, the freaking costume designers, the freaking score. Alan Silvestri's score still kicks ass. I hear that score in my mind, and I hear it in my ears, and I love every second of it. Everybody that worked on this movie, nearly 99.9% of them, thank you. This was, in every sense of the word, a fan movie. This was a fan event. This was something that could not be missed. This was a once in a lifetime freaking experience. And thank you guys for watching my channel for all these years. I love doing this. I'm going to continue to review movies because I'm revitalized now. I'm not suffering anymore in freaking work. I finally saw this movie. It paid off, and I feel so rejuvenated. And after seeing it, yeah, spoilers can't hurt me anymore because I already saw it. Now, when I see the next Marvel movie, keep the spoilers out of your freaking mouths, guys. We're Far From Home. Because, yeah, I'm ready for more. I really am. I'm just overwhelmed. If I feel like, I'm not screaming as much because I let it all out in the theater. I left it right in the theater where it belonged. People saw me. They freaking looked at me strange. Some Asian girl told me to shut up. I'm like, no, this was my moment, and I was just soaking and bathing in it every single second. When I was putting my arms up, going, yes, yes, people looked at me. I don't care, guys. I will go to the theater and adore anything that I want. And when I do, that's where the freaking fire comes out of me. The passion, the freaking internal, the flame that's inside of my heart. It just comes out. And I don't regret it. Thanks, Avengers Endgame. Thanks for entertaining me all these years. 11 years of freaking pure fun. Lots of laughs, lots of flaws, but they still didn't ruin the movies. Lots of freaking actors that some were foreign, some were American, some were Canadian, some were Australian, some were British, but again, they didn't ruin the franchise for me. And this is the kind of movies that changes lives. The first one did, it gave me a YouTube identity. The second one was a freaking blast. Civil War was almost like an unofficial Avengers, and I love that. Infinity War, right here. Thanks to that, we got this, and this was a payoff. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. See this freaking movie. You can get your hands on a ticket. Go. Do not turn your back on this. This gave us everything that fans wanted. This was a lot of callbacks to the for other movies, and I'm not going to say when, but it left me with a freaking smile on my face. And this is why I go see movies, guys. It's my freaking it's my freaking lifestyle choice, and I'm gonna stick with it. I'm not gonna put this poster on the wall because I already got one, but I want to frame it. I'm gonna show it definitely when I do my podcast with my friends. What a kick-ass freaking finale. This is just like something that can never be duplicated again. If there ever is another Avengers movie with Captain Marvel and the rest of them, it'll be good, but it won't be this. This is once in a lifetime. This right here. I don't know what else to say, but just, what a blast. Everything that I was hoping for just came to fruition. And Josh was right. This was freaking phenomenal. It didn't feel long at all. When I'm invested, I can sit in the theater for 5 hours because it's worth my time. And I just loved what I got. Thanks, guys, for watching. Take care. And soon I'm going to do a podcast with my friends to spoil the crap out of the movie. Not for anybody that hasn't seen it. I'm going to say, if you don't want to hear spoilers in that podcast, don't watch it till later. But see this movie now. Don't wait till next year. It's worth your freaking time. Every second of it. The characters deliver in spades. It leaves you feeling phenomenal. And no side effects like drugs. And it was worth the $16.49 I paid. This is in commercial trash. This is what it's all about. Suck it, Bill Maher. You say comic book movies are not good? You're wrong. These movies bring people together as a family, and they entertain us. They give us what we want because Star Wars hasn't given that to me since 2005 in the theater. Episode 3. That's where it should have ended. With this, it ended, and I can move on, but I'm still going to love this movie. And when it comes out on Blu ray, I'm going to see all the special features because the Russos gave it their all. That's all I can say. Later, guys, Endgame was freaking phenomenal. Everything about it just screamed epic. Epic freaking dramatic moments. Epic freaking action sequences. An epic battle at the end. Great freaking costumes. Great special effects. The most enticing endings I've seen in a freaking movie that was almost Titanic worthy or Lord of the Rings. This is why movies are made to entertain the masses. We're not spending our money on bullshit anymore. We're going to see things like this. This is entertainment for 3 hours and 2 minutes. Well, 181 minutes. It's not the longest movie I've seen in the theater. That will always go to Return of the King, the extended cut. Later, guys. I love this movie. I don't know what else to say because I've been going on almost 30 minutes. This just freaking blew my freaking mind. And the moment that I went into the theater to the moment I left, invigorated. DC, you have a long way to go before you have a movie like this. Don't fuck up the next Justice League movie. We need good. I want a Flash movie in the next decade. I want a lot of things, but this did not disappoint. And it's my number one movie of 2019. Nothing's gonna top it. Oh, not even close. Because I left the theater just overwhelmed. Not underwhelmed like episode 7, overwhelmed. Just like my emotion just came out of me. I didn't cry, but I almost did. But thanks for guys for watching. Later. John Avenger out.